Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. And I'm taking some soybean to Mary's farm.
Good old Mary, about to get that soybean.
Oh, there's also a need for those flowers at Gomez Ridge Acres, but I don't think we have any.
So,
Mary's farm.
apparently canola is a product of rapeseed.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a good product. We should not promote said product.
Yeah. We were playing this new mod pack, and Nebris dropped that knowledge on me. I was growing some canola, and he was like, "Oh, and well, Packrat said I have some canola seed in my pocket." And Nebris just burst out laughing, and like, what? He's like, "You said you have rapeseed." It's like, oh.
The good old rapeseed. How did that seed get its name?
I don't know. It's a good question. I guess it's not offensive because it doesn't refer to bad rape.
Well, so you don't think it does, but I mean,
you think like it was old Farmer Rape that that named it, and he was known for all his rapiness.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the etymology of the real word. I say the real word, but the more common terminology of the word rape. I don't know the etymology of it.
It's true. Maybe it all started with old Farmer Rape.
It could. I mean, how do seeds procreate? Because they're like pollens to flies and gets caught in other seeds and stuff, right?
Well, what? You just fucked my head all up.
I mean, they don't. You plant a male and a female seed next to each other. It's not like they mate, right?
Right. Yeah, pollen. That's how. Right. It's the birds and the bees, as they say.
The birds and the bees and the pollens and the trees.
Well, see, the bees are the part about the pollen part. Like the birds do the fucking. That's why it's birds and the bees. Like birds, like there's different ways to impregnate. You got the bees and you got the birds. And old Farmer Rape. I guess. I don't know.
The birds, the bees. So, oh god, oh my god, I jackknifed my trailer. So you're saying it's the birds and the bees and old Farmer Rape.
That's
so the song was wrong.
Right. You know, I guess it's kind of like how the Seven Dwarfs, the original telling of Seven Dwarfs, is so much different from the Disney telling.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, them dwarfs. They were also they're akin to old Farmer Rape.
Wait, please explain. I don't know this story.
I think it's Seven Dwarfs. I'm almost scared to tell this because I'm worried I'm gonna fuck it up. But I think that there's a version of this story in which the dwarves do bad things to Snow White.
I don't think I've heard this story before.
See, now, like I said, now I'm worried that I got this all wrong. I don't want to say that.
Well, whether you're wrong or not, tell us the Guude story.
Well, it's not the Goose story, but I've heard that like the dwarves like
I would like
take
to
her in and like
Guude
keep
and
her as like
the
a sex
Dwarves.
slave, basically. Isn't there a version like that? Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, probably on some website.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean that's just kind of like the whole like there's a porno for everything. But I mean, for some reason I feel like it originated as more than just that. You know, and I know this one for sure. In the actual original Cinderella, the stepsisters like basically like start cutting off pieces of their feet to try to fit it into the slipper.
That's pretty entertaining. I would rather have these original stories. By the way, I'm off-roading with the truck and the trailer.
Oh, you're doing it? Oh, you're off-roading.
I'm doing
I thought you were turning it in.
No, I already did that, but I'm actually off-roading because I was trying to
Oh, I see that $23,000. I didn't even notice it. So we should look into buying
still good.
the what did you call it? The high loader? High load?
The high-low.
High-low.
The high-low. So a forklift also has the terminology of high-low. I was trying to explain to Guude before we started recording, and then I did the caveat of at least at a company that I worked at. I'm not 100% certain. I was not a high-low driver. I was offered to drive the high-low many times, and I really wanted to, but
Why didn't you do it?
I was scared. It wasn't like it was a factory for circuit boards, and we did like aftermarket automotive technology, and I was one of the engineers that worked there. And to get into our garage to bring a car in there. It was this really weird. You had to come in the loading dock with the car and then do like a 90-degree turn, which usually involved like a 35-point turn to get into the lab. So it was a really poor setup for what it was. Yeah, it was terrible. You had to do like so many like back and forth. It was like Austin Powers every time you tried to get a vehicle in there. But it was also a place where they stored a lot of the pallets. So every time you wanted to move a car in and out, you had to go get somebody to move the pallets for you so that you could actually get it in and out of there. So one day, nobody was available, and they were like, "Here, Jeff, here's the keys. Just go drive the high-low." And I was like, "Oh, this would be awesome." But I have no idea how to drive one of these things, and there's so much expensive stuff around here that I was scared. In hindsight, I should have done it, but I did not. And I'm sad. But it did not involve, like, cutting off my toes to fit in the slipper or rape by midgets.
Hey, this thing we got, it's got a ridge marker thing on it. What's that?
Wait, I don't know.
Huh.
Where are you?
I'm in the
Oh, you're over here.
cultivator. Yeah, come look at this.
Yeah, I'm coming. I think maybe what it is when you go down the field, it'll actually draw a line in the field so you know where to start your next line.
Well, it's something like that. Actually, like it's a piece of machinery. Like, all right, you looking at it?
Wait. Yep. That doesn't. It seems really far away to be what I thought it was.
Right.
And it's not nearly the width of this thing.
Right.
Does this thing, like, can you put out the other one? Wait, you can only do one at a time?
Yeah.
Try to do the next swipe of this and use that. Oh, wait, we're out of seed, aren't we?
No, this still had seed in it.
Why
But
didn't this
what did
plant
you plant
all the seed
here?
then? I don't know. What seed's in it?
Well,
That's probably
it's
what I planted.
selected on canola, but I didn't know if that changed since the server went down.
Let me zoom in here with my chainsaw and yeah, this definitely looks like canola. The horticulturalist in me thinks canola.
I just looked.
For
It's
certain.
definitely canola.
Oh wait, we have a light? I have a flashlight.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you should
didn't know
take the
that.
rest of this over to Mary. It's in the thing.
Did you finish the field?
Yeah. Well, that
Let me,
which I may.
Wait, what?
I said that which I may, because the field's not done growing.
Oh, I see. So wait, most of that tree is still here, by the way. I took a lot of that tree after the last episode to the lumber yard. And granted, we didn't get much money, but I got over $1,000, so I paid for the chainsaw.
Yeah. So I have a question. I had a debate last night. By the time people see this episode, this debate will be a month old, but that's beside the point.
Was it about dwarfs and like shoes and?
No, but it was something. It was about a movie, and I feel that I'm correct. But you know, I'm not going to tell you what my opinion is first. First, I'm just going to open up a question to you.
God damn it.
I'm trying to look
Okay.
at the ridge marker here and see what it does.
I will also have a similar question afterwards, just to remind me about some flavors of the week, and that will trigger my memory because it goes right along the lines of what you're saying. So,
Okay.
wait,
Well,
where'd you put the cultivator? You're not in the cultivator. Oh, it's over here. I was following your like marker, thinking you were still in the cultivator.
oh no.
Go on,
Huh.
debate.
It does something. It's doing something over there. But it's not. What am I doing here? I've turned it on. I guess maybe the ridge marker can't. Let's undo the ridge
Can't
marker.
ridge?
Well, nothing's happening on the thing here. It wasn't. Well, I wasn't sowing no seed when the ridge marker was out, but now I am. So I guess that's good. So, have you seen the movie Jurassic Park?
A couple times.
All right. Would you consider?
You're talking about the first one, right?
Yeah. Would you consider Jurassic Park a horror movie?
Like, were there a lot of women in it that were paying for sex or getting paid for sex? I don't recall too many. But would I consider it a horror movie? That's not the first thing that would cross my mind at all. I would never. Oh my god, this trailer is crazy. It's probably the driver, but if I were to describe the movie to anybody, I would not say ever like, "Hey, have you never seen?" Oh my god, I just got T-boned in the road. I would never say to anybody, "You should watch this horror movie, Jurassic." I would say you should watch this action movie.
Right. So, Co-Star, we were streaming, and he was talking about how whenever he was a kid, he was sheltered. You know, I had talked about how, like, I lived in front of a cornfield, and like, at the age of 5, my parents let me watch, or my mom, this wasn't a both parent decision. My mom let me watch Children of the Corn, which basically ruined my life. I remember seeing Freddy Krueger when I was, like, my daughter's age, like, things like that. And Ko was talking about how, like, he tried to work his way into horror movies, and so he started with Jurassic Park and terrified himself. And I seemed to I lost my cool at that moment and laughed a lot at him. And he got very upset about this and defended this fact for at least an hour that Jurassic Park is a horror film.
So what was the defense? Because I don't actually know what a definition of a horror movie is.
See,
I would just know what I would classify as a horror movie.
I looked it up too, you know, after this was all going down, because it wasn't just like me versus Ko, it was me versus Ko, Justin, and Nakomi all on the same side. So I was outnumbered as well. Well, they said that it contains monsters. And I was like, I don't consider dinosaurs to be monsters. They're not your typical monster. Like, to me, a monster needs to be like an imaginary creature or something like that. Like you know, like Dracula or a zombie or, you know, every Jason, Freddy, like these things. But to me, dinosaurs just don't count. They're not a monster to me.
But wait a minute, does a horror movie have to contain monsters?
I mean, I guess they don't. I mean, like, look at, like, you know, any, like, I mean,
Scream is like
you know
a horror movie.
The actor was the monster in that movie. Like,
you could classify oh god. You could classify anything as a monster if you're going to say, well, the actor was a monster. Like, oh, that patch of grass or what movie? I mean, that one actually probably would be considered a horror movie. The Feed Me Seymour. That kind of was a monster in a way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything with, like, not a actual monster that I would say. I mean, you could say any villain was the monster, and then classify anything as a horror movie, and
that's what I was basically saying. Like, I don't see dinosaurs as monsters, and they're like, you know, they're vicious creatures that'll tear you apart. I'm like, well, so are lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. But they're not monsters.
The Wizard of Oz was a horror movie,
basically. I mean, and that you know,
had a witch in it too,
right? Well, and that was one of their also the defenses was that they were scared, and I was like, okay, well, you were scared. But is Harry Potter a horror film? Because I don't think it is. But there's lots of scary things that happen in Harry Potter, but it's not a horror film. So yeah, we argued for an hour.
No, that's like fantasy. So right. You could cross the horror threshold with a movie or with something based on Harry Potter if there was a lot of a lot more evil in it, and
Voldemort's pretty fucking evil, man.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Now you're having me question the concept of a horror film. I mean, I always thought horror films is like, you know, Friday the 13th, and Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, either way, those technically aren't like monsters. They're a person.
Right. Well, I mean, technically, Children of the Corn, which is where I started, there's no monster. Just a bunch
right. So
I don't
classify there needing to be a monster for anything to be a horror movie, but I definitely don't classify. I'm trying to think what their definition of a horror movie though was that it has a monster.
Well, no, that it was scary, and then they were basically saying,
well, anything could be considered scary.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was saying, you know, Harry Potter is scary, and Nakomi was like, no, it's too cartoony to be scary. And it's like, well.
The Finding Nemo was scary because you wondered if he was ever going to get back with his dad. I mean, is Finding Nemo a horror movie now?
These are all good questions.
No, I cannot agree. So I can understand where somebody might, who has never seen horror movies and didn't watch movies like that, would think that Jurassic Park was like a horror movie to break them in, even though I don't agree that it's a horror movie at all. But then their definition of horror movie is completely incorrect.
Like, Jurassic Park is on IMDb is classified as a sci-fi adventure thriller, and then they started referencing, well, thriller is a subclass of horror movie.
Well, Thriller's a Michael Jackson,
right? And well, I looked up other things that are thrillers. I actually was done arguing at this point because I actually gotten like, I was letting it get me actually angry. And
put the left ridge marker out. I want to see what this.
I don't know what it does, dude. Like, hold on. Let me pop one of these out. Not this one. Let's do this one.
Do the right one.
I'm not sure if it was still cultivating. Let's see if it does. I felt like it wasn't. Maybe I didn't move far enough.
Yeah, it's cultivating.
Okay.
And
like, I don't know what to do with this information.
And you're not doing like a wider base than you think you're doing. And if you do the next sweep at that ridge marker, it doesn't seem like, maybe it's the turning radius marker. Like, you can pivot directly around and that would be the exact point that you'd come back at the field on. Like, otherwise I don't understand what that's for either, because you can't come around and use that marker as anything, because it's a very narrow strip. So it's not like you put the other ridge marker out and know that you'd hit the whole thing. Well, you would know you hit the whole thing, but you'd be having a lot of wasted space in there.
Like, could I now, like, go down that line and...
On what, the left side of it, though?
No, like, directly on it.
Oh, you think it's a middle marker? Besides this little patch right here. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is a middle marker.
Okay.
I assumed it would be a left or right marker, not a middle marker. Yeah, you're hitting all of it.
And am I going, like, could I be more to the left, basically?
You could be right there. You're directly in the middle of it, right there.
Yeah, but is there any cultivation?
Yeah, you actually, there is some wasted field.
Okay.
You go to the left some more. Left more. Left more. Left more. Right there. Go straight. That's where you'd want to be. Granted, you're missing this now, but that was a curve in there. But that's where you'd want to be in comparison to the ridge marker.
So maybe,
to get the full
that's
width
basically
of it.
like my tires on the side of it. So
Yeah,
that's how it works.
maybe that's what it means. Maybe it means follow your tires on there. Granted, you're missing some of it now, though, but it's because this was a little curvy.
Yeah.
And yeah, now you picked it back up.
Yeah, I went way over, so I didn't tear up this stuff that's still not grown.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know, horror movie that would.
But yeah, under thrillers, I mean, basically anything that gets your heart racing is classified as a thriller as far as IMDb is concerned. Like, The Fate of the Furious is a thriller. Like, there's tons of thrillers on there that are not scary at all. So it can't even be, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
what was the definition of thriller? Do you remember?
I didn't actually look up the definition of thriller. I just looked to see what other movies were classified as thriller. But like I said, at that point, I was actually angry, and I wasn't talking to them about it anymore.
Oh, you know what? We can get a front loader for only $5,400.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, we should just buy one.
5,400. There's the FZ30 and the FZ60. Oh, there's bale spikes and the pallet fork is only $800. Wait, what?
Will that pick it up?
Then I would assume so. They're on pallets, aren't they?
I don't know. I think so.
They were on pallets in our shop.
Yeah.
Or in
true.
our farm.
That's true. Yeah.
Think we can just pick it up with the bale spikes and act as pallet forks, and then also be able to pick up bales?
No.
I mean, worth a shot. A roll type bale fork. Yeah, these things are actually, it's really cheap for the pallet fork. You want me to just buy one?
Yeah. I mean, you might as well see what it has, see what it does.
$800. Select main color. We can color it.
Oh, fucking fantastic.
You want a yellow one?
Sure. Okay.
Yellow. And that doesn't cost any extra, does it? Oh, it's plus $100.
So,
buy it.
I had to take my grandma to the heart doctor the other day. Just like not like she's dying or anything. Just a regular, hey, you're 90, you should go to your heart doctor.
Just the regular heart doctor visit.
Right. And she will not listen to anything that man says. It was the biggest waste of my day ever. Like, basically,
well, what did he want her to do, and what did she want to do?
So she's on blood pressure medication for her blood pressure.
As many old people are.
Right. And he wanted her to go from, she currently takes like 25 milligrams a day, wanted her to go to 50. And she
Of what?
I don't know. I can't remember what it was. I wish I could, because I know that would mean more to you than it did to me. Is Lipitor a word?
Lipitor is a word.
Is that a blood pressure
Lipitor is for no, it's for cholesterol.
Okay, well, she's on that too. I remember that.
Okay.
That was one of the things.
Yeah, I mean, most old people are on Lipitor.
But yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember what her blood. Start with a T, actually. Now I'm actually pretty sure of it.
I was gonna say hydrochlorothiazide, but
no, it wasn't that.
It doesn't really start with a T.
No.
I'm trying to. What are the common ones? Either way, go on.
Yeah. So anyway, she's been taking 25 milligrams of it, and he wanted her to go to 50. She's been having chest pains, and they think it might be related to her blood pressure, and.
So what was her blood pressure, by the way?
Well, that's the thing too. She says every time she goes and sees him, it's like all jacked up. Whenever we got there, it was 200 over 80.
White coat syndrome? Oh, that's not just white coat syndrome. Okay, that's yeah, she needed something.
But that morning it had been like 130 over 60, I think is what she had said it had been. And she said that was running low for her, but he was like, no, that's not low. Anyways, and she's been feeling dizzy too, like faint or whatever. And so anyways, he thinks that's what it is, that her blood pressure's not regulated. And so he told her to start taking 2 of those tablets instead, and that the next prescription would be 50 milligrams. And so after we leave, we get in the car, and she's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
But why?
She says she's worried that she feels like her blood pressure is already too low, and that it's going to mess it up.
So 130 is not too low, but also I would never take anything. I would never take anything for 130. But being 200 at the doctor's office is significantly dangerous.
Like, they tested it again like 30 minutes later, and it was like 160. So it had gone down. And she
160 is still something you need to get treated.
Right. But she told me on our way up there, she's like, for some reason it's always really high when I'm there. I don't know why. And so then they were like, well, you're probably just nervous. She's like, nope, not nervous.
Well, they call it white coat syndrome, though. It's just that people, their body reacts differently when they're in the presence of a doctor who's making medical decisions for them. It's just like if you go to the doctor and have you ever... So they take your vital signs and things like that. Have you ever had them say, I'm going to count your breaths now?
Probably. I don't remember. But that's just to get you to calm down, right?
No, they will... Why can't I pick this up? They count your breaths every time you're there. It's one of the vital signs. But they never tell you because everybody, when you tell them they're counting their breathing is a natural reaction. And when you think it's being counted, your mind takes over. And you start, forcing breaths.
Got you. Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess when they listen to you, they probably just... That's when they're counting, right?
Right. Right, they'll just watch you and estimate, based on watching you for 15 seconds on what you're doing, and estimate what you would be over a minute to have your 16 to 18 breaths a minute or whatever it's going to be. So I just brought this blue tractor all the way up here, and apparently it doesn't have the hookups for the paddle fork.
Oh, that sucks.
Oops. Yeah, so I got the paddle fork sitting here. I'm assuming probably on the front of the red tractor, because it won't let me connect it here. So, I guess I'm going to have to come back and trade you tractors.
Okay.
I looked at the front of this thing too because I was wondering if it had the hookups, and I thought I saw that it could hook up to something, but I guess I was wrong.
I just did this all kinds of ghetto because the way it's grown, but I've planted again.
Except for that, it was section we can't unplant.
What's fucked up is in the meantime, this whole other field is now ready to be harvested. I'm almost considering just planting over that bullshit that's messed up.
I mean, it might be messed up. Oh, so speaking of so this is you're probably not going to know this, so it's not going to make any sense though. But do you ever listen to early 2000s, late 90s punk music?
Hagfish is probably the only band that comes to mind.
So American Hi-Fi's Flavor of the Week.
Okay, yeah, I loved that song because I love that.
So you know the song.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is about, and it's the same argument I had. I had this argument years ago with people, and I had it again just yesterday. Well, it was 2 days ago with myself because the song happened to come on the radio, and I was like, I have to I think I'm still right from the past. One of the lyrics of that song are during the chorus. It's she's too stoned.
Yep, Nintendo.
So you said Nintendo.
Yeah, isn't it Nintendo?
I still do not believe. I don't believe it. I don't believe that's what it says.
Yeah, because she's always talking about how he's always playing games and ignoring her.
It's talking about how he's always ignoring her and doing other things. But I am so confident that song says he's too stoned to know.
Huh? Yeah, I guess
because it's all about her thoughts. Well, the thing is, all my friends have argued with me that no, it's definitely Nintendo.
Well, I mean, this is an argument that can be solved in like 5 seconds. You've looked it up, right?
No. If you look up any lyrics to the song, they say Nintendo, but I don't know who put those lyrics out there.
That comes from the band.
I'm not 100% sure that's accurate. I think it's
okay.
I think
you're wrong. Unfortunately, in this case.
I don't believe that I'm wrong at all. I will defend to my day.
Do we need like the artist himself to like write you a letter?
Yes,
Jeff. It is
I'm
Nintendo.
hoping American Hi-Fi watches our channel, and they're going to be like, Jeff, you're absolutely right. You're the only one who's ever understood us.
No, I mean that's definitely. Why are you so wrong now?
The whole song. Well, I just heard the song again the other day. It came on the radio, and then I listened to it on YouTube yesterday. I was just like, I gotta listen to this song again because I gotta hear this. And my wife was like, "Oh yeah, it definitely says Nintendo." I'm like, "No, it doesn't." No, it doesn't, because the whole song, none of the song is about playing Nintendo. None of it at all. It's about him ignoring her and taking advantage of her.
Yeah, but no, I think there's even a lyric in the song where it says like he plays games too much.
I'd have to remember the rest of the lyrics of the song. There's plenty of lyrics in the song that basically explain that he's not paying any attention to her, so he doesn't know how she feels about him, which completely goes with the concept of he's too stoned to know.
Well, no, but it's what he's doing when he's stoned. He's getting stoned and playing Nintendo, man.
But why randomly? That's the only line in the song, and it repeats it in the chorus multiple times, that he's playing Nintendo. And it jumps to he's too stoned Nintendo. And how are they using the word Nintendo? As a verb? As a single sentence verb?
Basically, it's like Google.
He's too stoned potato. What do you say there?
I mean, okay.
It doesn't even make sense.
What you're saying to me, you know what American Hi-Fi was probably too stoned to know that they should say
they were
to
too
know
stoned to play Nintendo.
Yeah. But I mean, what you're saying actually makes more sense, but unfortunately, they were probably too stoned to have made that realization when they made the song.
I'm gonna have to look that. I haven't looked up the lyrics to this song in a long time. I just know I did back with my friends when that song came out in 2001 or whatever year it was that it came out. It's what?
I'm looking it up right now.
And you're gonna see Nintendo and see that it's not submitted by American Hi-Fi. I don't even know who's in that band. I don't even know any other songs they sing. I think that's the only song that they were a one-hit wonder, weren't they?
Well, no. See, and here's probably why it's Nintendo, because it rhymes with "he don't know." Because that's the words before that. Her boyfriend, he don't know anything about her. He's too stoned. Nintendo.
Hold on. How does that fit so much better? Her boyfriend, he don't know anything about her because he's too stoned to know.
Okay, that makes sense too.
That makes the most sense. The word Nintendo does not fit in any way except forcing it to fit in the context of a stoned person would play Nintendo. But it has nothing to do with the rest of the way that song goes. I can't believe that that's the legitimate lyric unless the band were to come out and say, or if I could find a source that says, yes, the band has affirmed this. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's not what it says that the band says it is. I'm not one of those type of people.
It's in the book for the actual
Are you
CD.
sure?
Yep. Looking at it.
Damn it. See, that's probably by the band then, huh?
Yeah.
Though, I will tell you, the Bush CD... Why can't I pick this thing up here? The Bush CD... Did you listen to Bush back in the day?
Yeah, like 16 Stone.
Oh my God, what was their... What'd you just say? What song?
Well, 16 Stone's their big CD.
Yeah, 16 Stones, the one... What was their most popular song? Not Glycerine, though.
Oh,
The other one. Machine Head.
Okay.
Machine Head, in the jacket of that thing, and I remember this to a T, it says at some point, you're in the middle of the song, it says something about has Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow or something like that. It's like really jumbled words. And in the lyric booklet, it says the word Minnie ? Mouse. Because whoever wrote the lyrics didn't know what the hell it said. By the way, I can't pick up this thing with this tractor either. I don't know how to pick up this pallet fork. It's got like tractor attachments. No, I don't understand.
But looking at this song some more, it talks about how he's glued to the TV. He's playing Nintendo, man.
Does it ever say he's glued to the TV?
Yeah,
with a
hold on.
controller in his hand?
Pull the fucking thing. Well,
with a controller?
It didn't say with a controller in his hand because they've already made you understand that he's playing Nintendo because they keep repeating it.
Understand that her boyfriend he don't know.
Well, they said he don't know. They don't need to say it again.
But it makes more sense to say it again than with just randomly dropping the word Nintendo as a verb and or noun as a single word sentence.
I mean, I kind of wonder.
They were a grammatically correct band. Because that's why her boyfriend he don't know.
Yeah, right.
Grammatically correct. Do I need to get like a wheel loader or something? I would have thought this thing would have hooked to my freaking trailer. What if we draw? And now I'm worried about what this actually connects to, and the fact that I don't understand how these things connect. And none of these pictures help me understand what the hell these things connect to.
I'm looking up trying to see how they got by with just using the word Nintendo. And I think they probably did it just because of some Japanese company that didn't come after him. But all these forums are like, he just says Nintendo after 2 stone to make it rhyme. That bugs the shit out of me. And he says 2 stone way too much.
And is anybody in there arguing, no, he doesn't say Nintendo?
Oh, wait, hold on. Misheard lyrics. I
don't know how this thing works. This is going to drive me insane. Go on. Is it a misheard lyric? I love it when you go to a website because you're looking for something specific and you get there and you realize it has nothing to do with what you actually searched for.
I've seen people argue that Nintendo is him saying to know. I think Nintendo is definitely what it sounds like, but to know certainly makes more sense in the context of the song.
That's the misheard lyric? Like, so that wasn't a guarantee of anything. That was just somebody's opinion.
Right,
just
that's
like
someone's
mine.
opinion. Yeah, this is just a forum, and someone's like, hey, I'm Jay Sano, and...
It's just like, hit me with your best shot, unheard lyric, most notably known as hit me with your pet shark. Like...
Oh, man.
I have no idea how to pick up this freaking pallet fork.
I mean, it probably tells you somewhere. You're just 2 stone, 2 no.
I'm 2 stoned and playing Nintendo.
Yeah. He's 2 stoned. Farming Simulator.
Should probably turn my lights on though. Toggle lights. There we go. Maybe if I see it, I can pick it up. Nope. I can push it all the way back home.
Well,
Dude,
you
I
need
could
to get
probably
the
push this
seed here
frick-
because we're gonna need seed real soon, Jeff.
I can probably push the seed all the way back home. I've driven the tractor out here twice already. I might as well have just brought the frickin' seed thing out here and filled it up.
Oh, God, that's the worst. Well,
Hold
we're
on,
out of
I'm gonna-
time, so
I'm gonna-
hopefully in between we'll figure out if we're too stoned to know.
And if we don't, I'm gonna be pushing this thing down the street in the front of my trailer or tractor the
Can
whole
you?
time.
Can you just push it around?
You can. It just is not easy. Oh, there we go. I got it going in a straight line.
This is
I
literally
can't.
the worst.
I can't make a turn though, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. It is now across the field in the shop. So
Oh my God.
okay, guys,
Bye,
we'll
everybody.
see it.